Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Today is January 13th, 2021. Hope you're having a good week so far. It was sure nice to wake up this morning and see the sunshine coming through the window. Oh my gosh. The winds were howling last night, were they not? My gosh, it was pretty scary. Things were flying all over the place. Luckily, we didn't lose power here, and everything was fine. No trees fell or anything like that. So hopefully the same is true for you guys. Um, so without further ado, we're going to jump right in. Literacy Packet, Week 16. We are on page 12. And we're going to write our name right at the top of that page. And it says, readers make connections. Have you ever made something that did not last? Write about what happened. Well, I can think of lots of things. I made cookies. They didn't last because I ate them right up. So that's a good one. I'm going to draw a big plate of cookies on my paper. I don't know about you, but I love cookies and all kinds of things that are sweet. And then, so here's my plate of cookies. And if I were you, I would color it, take the time here. And I'm going to say, I made cookies. They did not last because I ate them. Yum. And there's my sentence. If you want to pause here, you can copy down what I wrote if you've ever made cookies, or you could do your own story. You could talk about how you made a Lego tower and it didn't last because you have to put your toys away and you have to break them, or maybe you did make a Lego tower that did last. Anything like that. Maybe you made a snowman in your yard and it didn't last because it melted, right? Okay, when we're done with that, we're going to turn to page 13, and we're going to write a little bit about the vocabulary word fright. Fright means to look really messy. To looked a fright is to look really messy. Write about a time you looked really messy. Use the phrase looked a fright in a sentence about your picture. So, let's see. I guess I could say I looked a fright when I had to go out in the pouring rain and wind to dig trenches for the water to flow out in the horse pasture because it was flooding everywhere. So by the time I got back in, I was covered in mud. I was soaking wet to the bone. My clothes were wet. I had water dripping down my face. I was cold. So that's kind of an example of when you might have looked a fright or looked really messy. Maybe you went and played in the mud and you came back and you looked all muddy and dirty and messy and looked a fright. So I'm going to say, I looked a fright. And I'm going to underline that. When I came home from digging ditches in the pouring down rain. Okay, so there's my sentence. I looked a fright. See how I underlined the looked a fright part? I looked really messy when I came home from digging ditches in the pouring down rain. When you're done with that, we're going to turn to page 14, and we've got our page here with our 3 different sentences, and we're going to go through and we're going to make the corrections that are necessary, okay? So I'm going to let you go ahead and do your own, because we've done this enough times now, you should be able to spot some of the things. So just a reminder, look for capitalization, look for periods at the end, make sure the words are spelled correctly. I'm going to do mine, and then at the end, I'm going to hold it up. So you can just check your work. All right. So if you are not done, which you most likely are not, go ahead and pause the video here, finish making the corrections on your sentences, and then when you're done, push play. Okay, so go ahead and check your work. Check my work too, make sure I didn't miss anything. I've got a capitalization here. This R needs to be lowercase, this W needs to be lowercase. They forgot to put a period at the end. On this one, they misspelled the word the. This needs to be lowercase. They put the letter O here instead of E. If you look up here, the word is through, not throw. Lowercase o and period at the end. Once you've done those things, then you've made all the corrections you need. All right, the next page, 15, is a page of tile letters, so we're going to pull that out of our packet. And then we're going to use those tiles to make words with I and powerful E, okay? So that means that these are words where there's an E at the end and an I in the middle of the word, and the E makes the I say its name. So like dine. You might go to a restaurant to dine. You might sit down at your table to dine. Dine is D-I-N-E. Dine. And the word dine is pronounced dine because there's an E at the end, okay? Another word you've probably heard before is wine. Not like the kind your mom drinks, but like, oh, I'm whining because I don't want to go to bed. I don't want to clean my room. That's wine. And that's spelled W-H-I-N-E. Wine. Okay? There's the word line. L-I-N-E. Please stand in line. The sun will shine. Shine is S-H-I-N-E. Mine. Which one is mine? Right here, M-I-N-E. There's all kinds of these words. Chime. My wind chime makes a beautiful sound. Chime, C-H-I-M-E. And there are many more. You can add as many down here as you would like to, okay? That was page 16. When you're done with that, you're done with reading literacy for Wednesday.